Typically, Dell shows up to CES with 20 or 30 new products, but this year, Dell pulled back on the avalanche of gadgets and instead it's brought 3 super slick concept devices. First up is the Concept UFO, which is basically a giant Nintendo Switch, complete with detachable controllers, a folding kickstand, and display out capability. The key difference here is that instead of being locked down like a traditional console, this thing runs full-blown Windows 10, so you should be able to install pretty much any PC game or game store you want. Now, because this thing is still a concept, Dell didn't provide any info about specs or performance, but even in its early stages, the UFO still had more than enough horsepower to play games like Mortal Kombat 11 and F1 2019 without any hitches. But modern games aren't the only thing the UFO is designed for, as Dell says it's also looking at ways of making this thing's controller input play nice with older games and maybe even emulators, which I'm really looking forward to. Unfortunately, Dell doesn't have a specific timeline for when the UFO might become a real product. But if you're interested, throw some comments down below because Dell is looking for all sorts of feedback, including input on how much this thing should cost. Next, we move on to some not so traditional laptop concepts that toss out the keyboard in favor of more screen. There's the Concept Duet, because it has 2 screens, and the Concept Ori, which is short for origami. Both gadgets are a peek at where laptops are going in the future, and I could not be more excited. Especially the Duet, which seems like the logical conclusion to stuff like the Touch Bar on modern MacBooks, and the small second screens we've seen this year on laptops from HP and Asus. With 2 screens, you can use the Duet in both portrait and landscape modes for ultimate multitasking. And when you want to get some typing done, the Duet comes with a magnetic Bluetooth keyboard that you can just slap on top, and depending on where you put it, a touchpad will just magically appear. Despite being a concept, the Duet's metal body felt remarkably solid. In fact, it felt like something I could just take home and start using today. Meanwhile, the Ori with its folding screen looks to be the more portable of the 2. You can use it with its screen fully unfolded or bent in half like a regular laptop. Although currently, it's missing a kickstand that would make switching between the 2 modes just a little bit easier. Despite only having 1 screen, Ori is significantly thicker than the Duet, though that's sure to change before it ever goes on sale. Now, I have to remind you, Dell didn't shed any light on either machine's specs, performance, or possible release date. But unlike a lot of other companies, Dell rarely shows off concept devices, especially ones that are super far out or don't have some serious steam behind them. That means these things might actually hit the market sooner than we might think. I say, bring them on.